TF2 is getting yet another classic mod and it's set to release in a few days. Let me explain. I was doing some research for another video I am making and had to read a 11-year-old post on GameSpot's forums. As I finished reading the post, another one caught my eye. It was titled TF2 Goldrush 2010 Throwback Mod. Releases November 25th on Steam. Naturally, my curiosity got the best of me and I jumped into the article. It opens with a paragraph from the mod's creator Luffy Blanco. Quote, TF2 Goldrush is a mod that restores and carefully enhances the experience TF2 offered in its early years. Expect a truly vintage flavor of the game with fewer hats and weapons, but more polish and a stronger visual direction. End quote. Frankly, it did not impress me at first. We've already had mods like Team Fortress 2 Classic, Team Fortress 2 Vintage, TF2 Legacy, Pre-Fortress, and Open Fortress. While most of them have major differences in key features, most of them are trying to appeal to people that feel deep nostalgia for the game, often having less cosmetics and weapons, turning into legacy game modes, and so on. So, with a lot of skepticism, the question was clear. Is it any good or different from the rest? Or is it just another stripped version of TF2 that offers little to no difference when compared to other mods? This video is sponsored and brought to you by TF2 Royal, where you can find various games with valuable prizes, lowest coin flip fees, and a rakeback system. By using the code RAIN, you can get free coins as well. Remember to play responsibly and only with items you don't care to lose. Reading further into the post, more information is revealed. The key message seems to be that this mod tries to stay faithful to the original vision of Team Fortress 2. Quote, this mod revives the original artistic identity of TF2, bringing it back to the familiar painterly environments and timeless 1960s spy movie aesthetic that won us all over back in the day. Goldrush only features maps and items familiar to the game's formative years, meaning veteran players shouldn't expect to be pulled out of the experience. In other words, it's just good old-fashioned TF2. So far, it sounds quite vague and is really what anyone would expect from a mod like this. Less, mostly original TF2 maps, and a highly tightened weapon whitelist. Don't get me wrong, I am all up for this. I would love nothing more than to play TF2 one more time in the 2010s era. It's just hard to understand its benefits over other, similar mods so far. Unfortunately, the developers have refused to share any footage of the game for my video because the reveal of it is very soon. But I've gathered some visual material for you which will play out during the rest of the video. Not giving up on the mod quite yet though. The forum post reads further. As beautiful and genre-defining as TF2 was back in 2007, it was also very sparse in content, an issue its developers intended from the beginning to remedy through their post-launch updates. Goldrush aims to incorporate only the best additions from this era. Balance adjustments like Pyro's Compression Blast, high-quality maps like Badlands or Lumberyard. And yes, even certain unlockable weapons and cosmetics. That's where we've had to strike a balance though. Because while dynamic loadouts and hats boosted gameplay variety and player expression, there was a point where these items began to override the original game's intended setting and style. End quote. That is a very good point. At some point, TF2 definitely had a shift where certain weapons and cosmetics have strayed far from the original TF2 style. Many people think it's the item's amount that made it very different of a game from its origins. But I think it has more to do with the fact that these items were designed without TF2's original style in mind, and Valve allowed them in. To avoid this, Goldrush includes only a very tight, curated pool of early items that we feel interact gracefully with the game's initial premise and visual design. Each class is given a variety of loadout choices, but they all still resemble their original archetypes and gameplay roles. This is great. I think having no additional items now that we are so used to them will make players appreciate them even more. People will have to resort to older strategies and have the chance to discover what these items used to be like. This is the list of weapons players will be able to equip on day 1. Do you notice it? Most of these items are achievement items. The first pieces of weaponry TF2 ever got. Of course it makes full sense, considering they are adding stuff from the pre-2011 era. In the September update blog post, the developers have stated that behind the scenes, the devs and playtesters have found a surprising amount of joy in exploring and abusing achievement maps again for the first time in 10 years. Therefore, they switched to an achievement system for unlockable weapons. As for what the achievements are and if they are the same old TF2 achievements is still to be seen. As for the hats, it's a similar case scenario. We will get to see some lovely classics, which I tend to still mainly use in my loadouts because I think they look very cool and resemble the original TF2 style so much. As you can see, this video involves me guessing quite a bit. Well,
you should know that I have a running daily TF2 quiz series with more than 1,500 questions. Check out my shorts if you want to participate or join my Discord to get free hats for submitting these questions every single day.
Continuing on, the developers plan to have hats be unlocked via the achievement system just like weapons. However, Valve has informed them that this is not allowed as it constitutes manipulation of the item economy. You might have missed when Valve announced they are giving the TF2 SDK to everybody that in order to be able to equip any hats in any mod, players will have to own them in their actual TF2 inventories. I really wonder though, if in case this mod becomes really popular, will these particular hats increase in price within the TF2 economy? More importantly than any hats or weapons though, I really love the fact that we will also be seeing a resurgence in all TF2 maps and game modes, which are long forgotten. There was a list of maps published on Discord which included every map that players will be able to enjoy on launch, and here it is. Say what you will, I am most excited to play every arena game mode map, as well as Pipeline, my all-time favorite map, which is impossible to find a match on nowadays in TF2 because it is hidden so far in the menu. Looking at the list, nothing seems out of place. Hell, they even have Arena Off-Blast and Watchtower. As much as I wanted to see them, I thought they would be cut due to how they play out in reality. They're just not the greatest maps. The team's plan is to accommodate players all around the globe, which is why they were working to prepare a small set of servers hosted in Europe, North America, South America, Australia, and Asia, and said they'll take any additional help they can get. The developer assured me right now that they have enough server hosters though, but upon launch, they will have a dedicated server guide so anyone could host them. Do you think I should make an arena-only server? Or maybe a 24/7 Pipeline server? Let me know in the comments. Reading through the announcements in the dedicated mods Discord server, I couldn't help but notice that one of the update posts featured changes to maps. For example, on CP Well, they added a route from the forward central foyer up to the battlements and redistributed health and ammunition throughout the bases. Same changes were applied to the Capture the Flag version as well. However, it also had the central building completely removed, reducing the overall map length. I guess this is where the paradigm shift comes into play and reminds us that this is a modification of the original TF2 after all, not just a rolled back update. Whether it feels natural and fun to play with these changes, only time will tell. However, I have a feeling it will feel exciting having to try and relearn some of the maps we are so used to playing in. As with anything Valve related, there's always some uncertainty though. It seems that the initial mod release date was supposed to be October 10th, to commemorate TF2's 18th anniversary, but Valve has been very slow to approve the store page for the mod. Fortunately, now it exists, and it seems that the mod is about to be launched. If you want to be the first to try it out, take a look at the description of the video, in which I will be sharing the link to this mod's Steam page. It is set to release on the 22nd of November, 2025. If you made this far, consider subscribing. I try to cover a lot of TF2 related news and trivia every single video. Just recently I made a video showing you 217 things you might have missed in Scream Fortress, or before, 230 things you might have missed in Meet the Videos. I hope you'll check them out. This has been Happy Rain, and I'll see you soon. Thanks for watching, bye!